All right, guys, John Lopez here with another Bite Me Short. And a lot of times, you're in the market for a new rod. Maybe you have an old rod and you have a good vibes with that rod, caught a lot of fish and all that. Let's talk about the evolution of rods and some of the things that are being offered right now. A lot of people think they're getting a great deal by purchasing a certain kind of rod. Well, let's talk about how this thing is all developed and some of the things that you should be looking for. I'm kind of in the inner sanctum here. I don't want to show too much because this is where the sausage is made with Fishing Tackle Unlimited. I'm here with Terry Jones. Terry, how are you, man? And actually, a lot of people may not know what exactly you do here. Before you get started on these rods, explain yourself.
Well, my name is Terry Jones, and I run the rod component section for FTU, and then I handle a lot of things on their production rods, help them out with that.
Perfect. Now, let's go back in the Wayback Machine when little John Lopez was standing on the jetties trying to catch with dead shrimp some fish. What do we have
So
here?
you probably had something like this.
I had something a lot like that.
It's a solid fiberglass rod, very durable, just full stainless guides, no inserts, but it did the job.
Mm-hmm.
Pyramid sinker and some dead bait on the bottom.
You're darn right. You're darn right.
They lasted forever. They had a lot of action on them. They were very, very durable.
Mm-hmm.
But fiberglass is very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not that refined. So what they started doing was they started blending and putting graphite in the fiberglass, and eventually they just quit blending it with the fiberglass because the graphite was much lighter.
Yeah.
It could make a much better product.
So what are we looking
it's
at
probably
here?
something like this. This would be something from the 70s.
And lighter.
6. Yes, it's much lighter. The guys now have inserts, which is better on the line.
And size is getting, we're getting smaller on the size too.
It's getting much, much lighter. These fiberglass rods will weigh 6 or 8 ounces. These will weigh 3 or 4.
Okay.
Just blank. And
Now,
grips and stuff.
About 22 years ago, Joe here at Fishing Tackle Unlimited started something called the green rod, and it was the latest and the greatest. And we'll get to the latest green rod, but what was this one and what separated this?
So this one went up to the advanced, what we considered that at the time was the IM10 graphite, which is a much finer, much lighter, much more sensitive rod. And it really was kind of precedent setting at the time, and it still is. Went to split grips and some of the different innovations in the real grips and real seats. It's got titanium recoil eyes on this one, which has been a stalwart.
And
here
still
on the
in
Gulf
use a
Coast.
lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very durable. They're bendable, titanium, so they don't rust. And so this has been state of the art. But as time's gone by, technology's gotten better, and most of it's just in the manufacturing. We don't go by IM10 anymore because the graphites have gotten so good, and most of it has more to do with the way that the patterns are cut for the blanks, and the way they're designed and manufacturing, the resins that they're using, and so you can make a much, much better product.
And this is where we are now.
Yes.
So, so take us through this right here.
So this is our new second generation green rod. We call it the G2, and it's made with actually has graphene in it, which makes it extremely strong. It's very durable. Titanium eyes with nitride, which is like torzite, which makes them extremely light and extremely slick. They're 4 times slicker than silicone carbide.
And what are the benefits of that? Let's explain that.
Well, it's much less wear on your line, and it's much lighter, and it's just a better overall for casting and for fighting and everything.
Now, you've talked also, because we're trying to inform our listeners here, our viewers, about the blanks and everything, all the other elements here. Tell me about the parts here. Let's start at the bottom here, because this is something that I swear by. By the way, I got like 4 of these. So.
Okay, all right. So this is a split grip, but it's configured and it's got carbon fiber on it. So carbon fiber is going to be much more durable than cork. It's not going to get dirty. It's going to last pretty much forever because it is carbon fiber. The blank is made a little bit differently than most high-end blanks. Most high-end blanks, the graphite gets brittle because they keep baking it to a real high degree to get them to be very fast. But that also makes the rod brittle. So these blanks are more of a slow cook blank.
Okay.
Like you would
like you're smoking a brisket.
A brisket or something, which makes it much more durable. I love building high-end rods, but they've always scared me because they were so brittle.
Because of that.
Yeah. But these are very durable blanks. You can put a lot of pressure on the fish and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. And then all the way to the top You have just such a light, thin rod
Yes, it's
that
got
is
a
going to
real
be
nice tip on it.
yeah.
But it bones up real quick.
Yeah.
You can lift a lot of weight, which we're not advocating you
Yeah.
throwing fish in the boat with it. But it makes the rod very durable, and like I say, you can put as much pressure as you want on the fish.
Right.
Even with the light.
Well, let me ask you
Wayne
about
Davis kind of helped us.
Right.
We built some spinning.
yeah.
rods
Wayne
for
has
him.
had a big part
And
in
that's
this.
all he uses, the lights.
Yeah.
And he's had tremendous luck with fighting big redfish and everything with it.
Let me ask you that right now, because that's something that we've talked about on the podcast.
Okay.
How you test a rod. And I'm like everyone else on the planet. First thing I do when I'm looking at a rod is start doing this.
Right.
And it drives Scott and all crazy, because
yeah.
it's like, that's not really how you
Doesn't
should,
mean
it
anything.
doesn't mean a dang thing.
Well, especially the newer, I'm going to call it the newer graphites that we're building the rods out of
Yeah.
now. You used to be able to do that because
Yeah.
you can see how much slop there is on the end, but
Yeah.
these very fast blanks, it doesn't make any difference. You look at
So
it
that's what you
back.
want to do right
So
there.
See, it bones up real quick, but you've got enough tip
Yeah.
to work the bait.
And you want to
feel the
see,
bite.
hold it like that, you want to see where it bends a lot of times,
Yes.
depending on your
Yes.
fishing. Explain that.
Well, like I say, it's going to bone up quicker. The older graphite that we used to use, we call it parabolic, which meant that it would bend all the way back into the handle. These don't; they bone up real quick.
Yeah.
Which means you don't have to do the hook set, but you got to walk backwards.
Yeah.
trying to take.
That's that old rod right there. That's what I was doing.
That's right. That's right. So. That's part of the newer design of the blanks is the way that they bend and they load the power up through this section of the blank. This is really where the fight is back in here in this bit.
Right,
This part.
right. And I know people say this all the time, but in rods more than anything else, you truly get what you pay for.
correct.
These elements of the rod are going to be, it's going to extend the life of the rod. What else are some of the things that you always tell people about? This is why the green rod or whatever rod, we want people to come here. We love Fishing Tackle Unlimited and get their rods here, or the green rod or whatever. But like anybody out there watching the podcast, across the country, what are some of the things that are the benefits of making sure you got the right elements?
So one of the things I was looking for, like I told you, I've always liked the high-end stuff, but it's very hard to deal with sometimes. It's
Yeah.
like a Lamborghini. They're kind of fragile.
A
You
lot
gotta
of
pay
things
them
can
and
go
stuff.
wrong.
But the manufacturer told me, I was talking with him, and he said that these blanks are some of the most durable that he's built. He said most buyers, stores, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
say anything, but they don't want rods that are real durable because they want you breaking them and come and get back and get more.
Yeah.
And our philosophy is we want you to get a rod that's going to last you for life.
Yeah.
So these are very strong, they're very durable. The carbon fiber, the high-end guides and stuff makes it to where it's going to be something that should last you for a long time, and that's what we want.
Man, you are the man. I mean, this is fat. I could go on forever. In fact, we'll come back another time and talk rods some more. But
Okay.
just out of curiosity, because I'm naturally curious,
Right?
you make these rods.
Yes. See, this is our design.
Yeah. How long does it take to make a rod?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you go
Yeah.
from Wayne Davis
We
to
took I took the first green rods and measured them, and then took them. I went to two manufacturers before and worked with them. Another manufacturer actually helped me with the design on them and the tips.
okay.
And then that didn't work out, so I took that design and I found this new manufacturer, and so I'm dealing directly with the factory
Yeah.
and having tremendous luck with it. He's a very high-end builder. He
Yeah.
has these laser cut patterns in his
Nice.
designs, his builds.
Well, this has been extremely informative, and we appreciate
I
it.
hope so.
All right, guys. That's good stuff right there.
Show my junk here.
Yeah, all the junk. No, it's just me that's showing right now. We're not looking at all your junk. Appreciate it. Appreciate Terry, Fishing Tackle Unlimited, for having us, of course, Emily and Joe. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and don't forget to listen to the podcast every week.